Well, hello. It's us with a little Tuesday photo edit for you, as promised from last Saturday's video. And if you haven't seen that, it was a landscape shootout between my Nikon D700 and D800E, and I'll link to it above. But to fill you in, basically, I shot this image with my D800E and the 17 to 35 f2.8 lens. Now I did shoot a series of brackets, thinking I was going to have to blend them. This is the 1 second overexposed. Is it over? I don't know. Anyway, I shot a few images. This one was shot on my D800E with the 17 to 35 f2.8 at 17 millimeters. And as you can see here, it's 1 second at f13, ISO 100. So I think it's the same image I mentioned in my video, but I think I said there that the shutter was half a second, maybe. So if I did say that, I apologize. It was, if this is the same image, it was a 1 second exposure. And anyway, let's get on and process this. Now I'm going to raise the exposure by 2 stops to bring it back up to natural light levels that we had on location. So obviously this is the one I shot for the sky. So I shot this one correctly exposed, I think, for the sky anyway. So there we are, brought back up to like natural light levels. I'm not going to crop it. I quite like all the detail that's in down here, and obviously these vignettes I will get rid of right at the end. Right, so first thing I'm going to do after brightening the whole image is deal with the sky. So we'll create a mask on the sky, and I'll drop that now back down to where it was. Could I go one more, do you think? Yeah, I'd go there, I reckon. What do you think? That's all right, isn't it? So we'll go there. What we'll also do is warm it up just a tad to around 30. Let's add a little bit of whites and a little bit of blacks. Dabble with the saturation, just a smidge, and then we'll come down here and look at the micro contrast then. So texture we'll raise to around about 50. Clarity to about 20, and dehaze. That's quite powerful, the dehaze tool, so be careful with that. Make it look very crunchy and HDR-y if you're not careful. Let's go to 5 on that. Oh, yeah, that looks quite nice. Yeah, pretty well what the sky looked like on the night. Now normally I would add in a linear gradient here. But because we got all this detail in this bow-shaped part of the sky here, I'm not going to. Right? Controversial, I know. There we are. Right then, let's create a new mask. Select the sky again, and then we'll invert it. So we're just now dealing with the land, and I think what we will do is we will raise the shadows just a touch, not much. Just a little bit to bring out a little bit more detail, and I'm going to play with the colors, but I can do that. I think I can probably do that globally. So I only want to play with the greens, and there's no green up here. So let's go down to the color mixer, and I'm going to increase the hue on the greens quite a lot to around about 60, but then I'm going to decrease the saturation to around about minus 40, and this is a lot more natural looking, and I like this bit of algae or moss on this rock here, and that really now sort of starts to sing, doesn't it? So I'll probably increase the luminance as well on the greens just to bring that out a little bit more. Again, there we are. That's quite nice, isn't it? Right then, I need to deal with these chromatic aberrations. It's an old lens, okay? It's an old lens, but luckily it has profile corrections enabled, as you can see here. 17:35 f2.8. So there we are. That's pretty well got rid of any chromatic aberration we can see there. Now I am going to add some sharpening. Now with my Fuji files, I very, very rarely add any sharpening at all. They come out sharp enough, but these old Nikon files, they need a bit of help. So I'm going to take this up to around about 80, detail to around about 40, and then I'm going to mask in the images by pressing my option key, pressing my option key, and dragging up quite high to about 80. And as you can see, that really has now sharpened up and brought out quite a lot of detail. F13 kind of got most of it, didn't it? Kind of got most of it. And this car up here. We might clone that out after. Now we'll have a little look, clone it out or leave it as is. Now then, I'm going to do a little bit to this riverbed here. So I'm going to create a new mask and do a radial gradient this time. Bring it down over the riverbed. I keep saying it again. Riverbed. And I'll lift the shadows just a little so you can see a bit more underneath, and then increase the saturation quite a lot to about 60, so we can really bring out those aquas and those coppery colours of the pebbles underneath the water there. I think that looks. I'm quite happy with that. It looks really nice. You've got a nice reflection from the sky in the river. You've got these coppery colours. You've got these colours on the pebbles there. R. Osborne's ghost. You'll have to watch the video to find out about that. Right, what I'll do now then is go from here and open it up in Photoshop and deal with these areas up here, these vignetted areas. So we'll get the clone stamp, hit, get that circle a bit bigger, hit the option key, and then, oh, hang on, oh, sorry, didn't do that wrong, right, option, click, there we are, that's it, and I can drag that up to there. Do the same over here. So click option and click on a different area, and then drag that area of cloud up. Look at that. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know, would you? Similarly down here, let's reduce the size of the sample though a little. Option click, and then get rid of that little vignette there. I might need a bigger area there. There we are, and put that in there. And that, dear viewers, is how I do that. So there we go. Tune in on Saturday for more fun and japes, and either another shootout. I filmed like a high-res macro shootout between my XH2 and D800, or we'll do our little monthly nature walk. One of the two. It'll be one of those anyway. Right then. Until then, be nice to each other, okay? Ta-ra.